I, 28, never thought I would find myself in this situation, questioning my own actions and wondering if I am truly the asshole in all of this. It all began when I discovered that my ex-boyfriend, 29, had been cheating on me with another woman. The betrayal cut me to my core, leaving me feeling hurt, angry, and more than a little bit vengeful. But little did I know that my desire for revenge would lead me down a dark and dangerous path, culminating in an act that I never thought myself capable of setting his car on fire. The relationship between me and my ex-boyfriend had started off strong. We met in college and quickly hit it off, bonding over shared interests and a love of adventure. We spent countless nights exploring the city, trying new restaurants and planning our future together. I thought he was the one, the man I would spend the rest of my life with. But as time went on, cracks began to show in our perfect facade. He started staying out late, making excuses for why he couldn't come home, and becoming increasingly secretive with his phone. I tried to ignore the signs, telling myself that I was just being paranoid, but deep down I knew something was wrong. One fateful night, I decided to surprise him at his apartment with dinner and a movie. But when I arrived, I found him in bed with another woman. The sight of them together was like a knife through my heart, shattering the illusion of our relationship and leaving me broken and betrayed. In the heat of the moment, I lashed out, screaming, crying, and demanding answers. He tried to explain, to apologize, to beg for forgiveness, but it was too little, too late. The trust we had built over years was shattered in an instant, leaving nothing but pain and anger in its wake. After he left, I was consumed with a desire for revenge. I couldn't let him get away with what he had done, with the pain and humiliation he had caused me. So I started to plot my revenge, thinking of ways to make him pay for his betrayal. I knew setting his car on fire was extreme, dangerous, and illegal, but in that moment I didn't care. I wanted him to feel the pain and loss that I had felt, to know what it was like to have something you loved destroyed by someone you trusted. Late one night, I crept out to his apartment, armed with a can of gasoline and a lighter. I poured the gasoline over his car, watching as it pooled beneath the tires, the fumes filling the air with a sickly sweet smell. And then, with a shaky hand and a racing heart, I flicked the lighter and watched as the flames roared to life, engulfing the car in a fiery inferno. The sound of the fire crackling, the heat of the flames, the sight of his car burning before my eyes, it was all so surreal, so intense, so satisfying. In that moment, I felt a strange sense of catharsis, as if the fire was burning away all the pain and anger that had consumed me. But as the flames died down and the reality of what I had done set in, guilt washed over me like a tidal wave. What had I done? How could I have let my anger and hurt lead me to such a destructive and dangerous act? I knew then that I had crossed a line, that there was no going back from what I had done. The next day, the news of the fire spread like wildfire. The police were called, investigations were launched, and suspicions began to swirl around me. I knew it was only a matter of time before the truth came out, before I was caught and faced the consequences of my actions. As the days passed, the guilt and anxiety ate away at me, leaving me sleepless, restless, and consumed with fear. I tried to carry on with my life, to pretend that everything was normal, but deep down I knew that my world was falling apart around me. And then, just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, I received a call from my ex-boyfriend. He had found out about the fire, about what I had done, and he was furious. He demanded answers, explanations, retribution. And as he raged on the phone, I felt a strange sense of satisfaction, knowing that I had finally made him feel the pain and loss that he had inflicted on me. But as the call ended and the reality of what I had done sunk in, I was left with a heavy heart and a mind filled with regret. Was setting his car on fire the right thing to do? Was it justified, given the pain and betrayal he had caused me? Or was I just as much of an asshole as he was, consumed by anger and hurt, blinded by revenge? As I sit here now, staring at the charred remains of his car and the destruction I have wrought, I can't help but wonder, am I the asshole in all of this? Did my actions make me no better than him, a vengeful, destructive force driven by pain and anger? Or was I simply a victim of circumstances, pushed to the edge by betrayal and heartbreak? I may never know the answer, may never find the closure and peace that I seek. But one thing is for certain, setting his car on fire was a decision that I will regret for the rest of my life. A choice that has left me wondering if I am truly the asshole in all of this. And as the flames of guilt and regret continue to burn in my heart, I can only hope that someday, somehow, I will find a way to make amends for the damage I have done. Update. After the news of the fire spread, the police launched a thorough investigation into the incident. It wasn't long before they traced the gasoline used to start the fire back to me. I was arrested, charged with arson, and faced the very real possibility of going to prison for my actions. The court proceedings were long and grueling, with my ex-boyfriend testifying against me, painting me as a vengeful and dangerous person. The evidence against me was overwhelming, and it seemed like there was no way out of the mess I had created for myself. During the trial, I couldn't help but look over at my ex-boyfriend and see the smug satisfaction on his face. He seemed to revel in the fact that I was facing the consequences of my actions, that I was the one who would suffer for what I had done. And as the verdict was read out guilty of arson, I knew that I had lost everything, including any chance of reconciliation or closure with him. Conclusion. In the end, both my ex-boyfriend and I were left hating each other more than ever. He saw me as a vengeful and destructive person, while I saw him as the ultimate cause of my pain and suffering. The fire I set may have been an act of revenge, but it only served to deepen the rift between us, leaving us bitter enemies with no hope of resolution. Looking back now, I can see the folly of my actions and the damage they caused. The anger and hurt that drove me to set his car on fire only led to more pain and regret in the end. I realize now that I was wrong to take matters into my own hands, wrong to seek revenge instead of finding a healthier way to cope with the betrayal I experienced. In the aftermath of the fire, I have lost more than just my ex-boyfriend. I have lost my sense of self, my integrity, and my peace of mind. The guilt and regret of my actions will haunt me for the rest of my days, a reminder of the destructive power of hurt and anger. As for my ex-boyfriend, he may have escaped physical harm in the fire, but the emotional scars will linger for a long time. He will always remember the day his car was set ablaze by someone he once loved, someone he once trusted. And in that memory, he will find it hard to forgive, to move on, to let go of the hatred and resentment that now defines our relationship. So in the end, the question remains, am I the asshole for setting my ex's car on fire after he cheated? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in between, in the gray area of hurt and betrayal. But one thing is for certain, the flames of revenge only serve to burn us both, leaving nothing but ash and bitterness in their wake. And as we move forward, forever entwined in our shared history of pain, I can only hope that someday, somehow, we will find a way to let go of the hate and find a path to healing and forgiveness.